Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Catch Up with Mayo Saturday. This time a little later than usual, I think, 5 p.m. Eastern. But I'm here no matter what. And I'm glad that Chris was able to make it. He wasn't sure if I was going to be doing one of these today. Well, now you know for sure that I'm here. Hi, James. Hello, Gary. Hello, Mike. Hello, John. Hello, Harold and Romoga, and Robbie. And that's for a start. Uh, and Joe F. Hello. So, yeah, okay. Cloudy weather today, light rain. I've been saying what a good season we're having here in June, but last a couple of days now and then haven't been too good. But overall, I can't complain about June. And hello, Trish. I just wanted to tell you, in case you missed my message before, that I have your cassettes. I picked up your cassettes a week or two ago, and they're sitting here, and I just got to mail them. Got to get off my keister and do it. So, John Alelo, hello. Yes, I do have a middle name. My name is Beetle. Joseph Beetle. Seriously. Hi, George. All right. Well, anybody have anything they want to talk about today? Because starting this particular afternoon, I don't have anything really to say, I guess. James Farley says it's going to be a scorcher this week. I'm okay. I don't want to hear it's going to be a scorcher, I don't want to hear it's too humid. I don't want to hear the weather sucks. I don't want to hear, oh, my God, when are we going to get some relief? I'll take it. I like it. I like it better than winter. You know that. It will be snowing in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana this weekend. 24 inches in July. Crazy. Okay, I was at the store today, and I just happened to pop into the store today, and there was nothing there unless they didn't tell me. They forgot to tell me. I don't go every day. Keep that in mind, Trish. I don't go every day. I used to go almost every day once upon a time. Now I go there rarely, actually. Exactly, George. It's I'm not. And by the way, James, this James Farley. This is not aimed at you. People in general start acting up. They start acting up. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, just come on. I am a big complainer. You know that. I am a big complainer. One thing I seldom complain about, if at all, is weather. Although I will complain if it's raining. If it's raining or cloudy, I might complain about that. And if it's really cold. But I don't complain about nice weather and hot weather. There you go. Exactly. Don is not around anymore. Don is not in the neighborhood anymore. It's a big mystery as to where Don is. He's in some kind of place, some kind of. I don't know. I don't know what I've heard he's. I forgot what the word is that they were using. I forgot what the word is as to where Don is. Some kind of facility being looked after, I guess. I don't know what his story is. What releases do you think we'll get between now and Christmas? Hoping we get Rubber Soul before Christmas. Still hasn't been a word on it yet. We'll find out. Still got time for that announcement. I don't know. That's the only one right now that I'm thinking. I'm wondering if there's going to be a Lennon estate. There was talk that the Lennon estate was going to put out on physical media both concerts from the 1-to-1 show, the afternoon and evening show, both of them. I'll tell you though, quite honest with you, as much as I'd like to have them, I've kind of had my fill right now, because last year we got the Power to the People box set, which had all the audio from both concerts and other extras, and then we got the theatrical presentation, a hybrid of one of the of one concert with different performances put in. We got the concert that I went to the theater to see. Now we're going to get both on disc, afternoon and evening. Okay, I'll take it. I will. I'll watch it. I'll review it. But I'm just a little, 1-to-1 concert out, concerted out. So there you go. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Think cool. Think cool. It's the summer. It's supposed to be hot. Yeah. Well, that doesn't really work too, though, John, because I'm always saying, "Oh, it sucks that there's all this snow, and it sucks that it's like minus 2 degrees out." And they say it's the winter; it's supposed to be cold. So I guess that goes both ways. Thank you. You say there's a cool new video with Anthony. I actually put 3 of them up today. I put one on my Mean Mr. Mayo channel, one on my Cinemayo channel, and one on my Mayo Loves Mondays channel. So there you go. Destroy All Monsters is on Svengoolie tonight. An all-star cast, a Japanese monster cast. Is this the film where Godzilla does his victory dance? No, sir. It is not. That one has a number of titles. It's called Invasion of Astro Monster. It's called Invasion of Astro Monster. It's also known as Monster Zero or Godzilla versus Monster Zero. If you see Monster Zero in the title, that's the one. Or if you see Invasion of Astro Monster. Okay, Mix 64, how you doing? We're projected to be 96 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday here in Michigan. Real feel of 105. And I noticed in the comments over on my movie channel, you and I are having that strange debate about the What About Bob movie. And, it's hard, to describe it, as you know, in writing. Not much more we could say here, I don't think. Hello, Penny Lane. What makes you feel mine or fine? I don't know. I don't think it's a mental health facility. I don't think, but he's something like that. Okay, I just did a 2-mile walk just before the live stream. It's not hot, but it's so humid. I know. Don't complain. Yeah, come on. Tell it to somebody that gives a shit and wants to hear it. You know how much I love you, Harry, but I don't really want to hear it. Were you aware that the McCartney album "Memory Almost Full" is an anagram of my soulmate LLM, Linda Louise McCartney? I didn't know that. I knew there was an interview up with Sean and Rick, but I didn't watch it. Will you be doing a video for the 250th on the 4th? Of course not, because I don't do anything to do. If you mean talking about something with like history or politics, no, I won't. The only thing I could say is, and I don't like talking about. I think it's disgraceful that there's not a big hoopla about the 250th anniversary. This is a big deal. 50 years ago, when I was 14, we had the bicentennial. And boy, oh boy, was everywhere you went. I didn't even know what the bicentennial was when I was 14, but yet you couldn't avoid it. Commercials, all kinds of hoopla, bumper stickers, gifts, all kinds of like streamers and posters and coins, special bicentennial coins. On TV, they had something called the Bicentennial Minute. In between programs, they would talk about the bicentennial. There's nothing that I'm seeing. I think that's a disgrace. Okay. I'm not even the most patriotic guy, but 250, it's a big deal. And people ought to be ashamed of themselves for not making a big deal about it. It's the people who don't. Did I hear they're making a new Planet of the Apes movie? I've heard words to that effect, with the new series. Yeah, I've heard words to that effect, definitely. Very cool. I saw all three videos with Andy. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. This is fair. I say this with peace and love, and I hope it doesn't offend, but those AI thumbnails make you look years older than you are. That's fine. I appreciate your opinion. I'm really liking the thumbnails. I got to be honest with you. I didn't think I'd like them, but I do like them. But hey, you know what? If the thumbnails make me look older, then when you actually click on and you see me in the video, maybe I look younger than the thumbnail. I'll take it. No problem. But I am having fun with the thumbnails, I got to tell you. And they're easy peasy compared to what I had to do before. And I still may do occasionally, having to take your own pictures and put your own pictures up and put your own lettering on, and sometimes do a kind of Photoshop thing. You go over to Adobe, take Adobe and like cut your image out and find an image of something for the background, and then copy paste your picture, copy paste another picture. Put different record albums up if you want. It's just a lot easier this way, and I think it's fun. The only thing that I don't really love AI thumbnails, but the one thing I really don't like about them, if I don't like anything, is that some people, and I'm talking about people. If this, what I'm going to say, if this is something that somebody out there listening to me does, they're going to think that I'm talking about them personally. I'm not. I'm talking about YouTube, the whole thing. Even people that I don't know and don't know me. I don't like when there's too many words all over the place. I like 1 or 2 words. Don't inundate it with a dozen words or 20 words or different lines everywhere. It takes away, in my opinion. I like to have just a couple of words, 2, 3, 4 words, whatever. Just say it. Hello, Stuart, just passing through. Thank you very much, Stu. Europeans are having so much trouble with the heat wave because they don't use much air conditioning like the USA. I miss seeing the Beach Boys perform on the 4th. They should make a remake of When Worlds Collide. Okay, Harold watched all 3 of the Anthony videos. Thanks a lot. Penny Lane says, I remember the Bicentennial Minute, right? It was a big deal. And we all know why, and people are ignoring it, and it's not right, regardless of how anybody feels, however you feel. It's just, you should still, be happy at the birth of the country, for God's sake, so to speak, birth. Are you going to the Garden next week for the big wedding soap opera depression? Gossip fluff princess Taylor Swift? I don't know. Are you talking about is this the marriage thing? I don't know what this is all about. But John, no, I won't be. I mentioned the Renaissance Fair. You were there a year ago. Okay. Is Destroy All Monsters a good movie? As far as Godzilla movies go, it's fun. It's a fun Godzilla movie. If you like Godzilla, this one has a lot of monsters in it. It has more than one monster. It has a whole bunch of monsters. That's why it's fun. I'd say it's fun if you're a Godzilla guy. If you don't like Godzilla, don't waste your time. Okay, Rick says he has a very important guest interview coming up. I wonder if he asked Sean to talk to Paul. Maybe that's the guest. Could be. That's pretty big. Any reason for the Munster shirt, or is it just what you grabbed today? It's just what I grabbed today. Yeah. No reason. I really should try to save the movie and TV related shirts for the movie channel and TV channel, but just what I grabbed. I remember during the Bicentennial, you could swap out your front license plate for 1 year with a patriotic one, right? Yeah. The wedding of Taylor Swift. Yeah. There you go. The Munsters were great. Oh, I agree. The Munsters, the original Munsters, of course. Fred Gwynn, Al Lewis, Yvonne DiCarlo. Yeah. Did my friend Anthony get any movies? Now I'm trying to remember if he did. Wow. No, he didn't actually. He was going to pick up a disc of the Munsters actually, and when he went to pay for it, he opened it up and the case was empty. There's no disc in it. For a moment there, we thought maybe they were going to think he or I lifted it, which that never was brought up. But there was no disc in the case. So, okay, let's do a little water. Okay. Okay, Anthony is retired now. You all had retirement brunch. That's what I call it. Anthony's not officially retired yet, no, but I call it that anyway. um, which movie did you watch with George C. Scott? I'm thinking it wasn't called Movie. Yes, I met Butch Patrick way back, and I think it was 1990 or 91, a long time ago. Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster, has been doing the convention circuit forever, and I met him a long time ago. I met him twice, actually. I think I've got 2 autographs with him. I don't have any photos with him. It's amazing. But anyway, I went to Disney World in 1976, and I got a Mickey Mouse bicentennial license plate. Too bad you couldn't get the Outer Limits. Yes, I felt bad about it. Another thing, this is the truth. That's where my battery ran out of the camera. I was taking all kinds of movies of different DVDs that I had, and I saw the Outer Limits, and I picked it up. And I said, hey, maybe I'll get this one because it only had 17 episodes. It was a DVD, not a Blu-ray. I knew it wasn't going to be great quality, but I thought it would finally give me a chance to watch some Outer Limits episodes. And then the camera went off because I managed to mention Ramoga, and I managed to mention a few things about it. But then afterwards, I opened and I examined the discs, and they were all scratched. And I didn't want to take a chance. Okay, you say what is Anthony's occur? Maybe you're talking about when does it occur? Maybe. I don't know if you're talking about Anthony's retirement. I don't know if you could rephrase that for me. Okay, Mark says, this means nothing, but I found myself in the audience of the concert for Bangladesh. I was flabbergasted. What do you mean? You went there in 71 to see the concert? What is Anthony's occupation? Anthony works for the post office. He's currently on a hiatus. That 17 episode, Out of Limits, was the complete second season. Oh, really? Was it? I didn't realize that. I thought it was the best of. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, I mean, I was so happy when I saw it. But I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'll keep my eyes open because I do want to see it. I do want to see it. I just don't want to spend a lot of money for the full series or something yet. Eddie Munster was at Beatlefest in the Meadowlands selling his book. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't remember that. The first season of Outer Limits was 32 episodes. I have them both. Yes, Mark went to Bangladesh concert 71. I'm in the audience in the film. Beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations. I really do hope that even though I'm not that keen on that concert, to be honest with you, I think Bob Dylan gives the best performance. I'm sorry, I'm a Dylan fan, and I'm a George fan too, but I like Dylan in that movie. But I've never seen it in a theater. I don't think. Hello, Darren. I'm not in a singing mood today, so I'm sorry there'll be no Beatles singing. But thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support all the time. Occasionally, some comments are not showing up. Is anyone else having this problem? So I don't know what that is. Okay, wait a minute. Back to a George C. Scott thing. Hold on. I missed this. James Farley says, yes, the movie was called Movie with George C. Scott. I didn't even know this. I never heard of it. I do like George C. Scott. The problem is he won the award for Patton, and I don't, even much as I like George C. Scott, I don't have the desire to see Patton, even though I don't, even though it won all the awards and everything. If I remember correctly, Dylan was too scared to go on. George had to coax him. All I know about it was that Dylan was almost a no-show to the last minute. Dylan's Bangladesh version of Just Like a Woman is the highlight. It's a highlight. To me, I like when he does A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. And I like, it takes a lot to laugh. It takes a train to cry. I don't like war movies. I don't. I generally don't. I mean, if I happen to like the actors in them, the directors, maybe I'll give them a shot. But it takes a lot for me to watch a war movie. Okay, what will you allow yourself to eat this 4th of July? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll give a little plug. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing, this is on my other channel. We'll talk about it there. Okay. I'm going to be doing another, whatever you want to call it, weight and wellness video. Okay. I have some progress to report. I'll report that tomorrow. I'll be there live at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, or you can watch the playback if you happen to miss it. Hope you can make it. And I will be talking about that kind of thing. Okay. No problem here with comments. Patton is a great film, so I've heard. I'm also wondering about some changes for my movie channel. I'm thinking about more changes for it. I always preferred the single of Bangladesh better than the movie. Same here, James. I like the single better than the live version of Bangladesh. During the concert, I remember George saying, "Is he here?" about Bob Dylan. I don't remember the 4th of July, 76. It's funny because I have a very good memory, and I remember dates, and I remember a lot of things that I've done. Sometimes I think I almost remember every day of my life. Now, I know that's hard to believe, but the little things not every day of my life, but I could remember like a moment from almost every day of my life. Not literally, but I remember a lot of things. I have a good memory for that. Supposedly, John was supposed to show up at the concert for Bangladesh, but he wanted Yoko to perform. So George basically told him no, as the story goes. Well, I think the other way around is, George told John no, but John said, then I say no to you. I'm not performing without Yoko. So it goes both ways. And I don't, the funny thing is that's always been the story, and I've always known that to be the case, Joe. But I think it's true. I have not seen Beatles stories on YouTube, Cherry Carter, but I think Mikey Arugula highly recommended it to me. There's somebody else who also prefers the single of Bangladesh. Hello, Chris. What's your number one favorite on Dungeon Lane? I hate to be predictable, but my favorite is definitely Days We Left Behind. Number two might be, believe it or not, nobody really loves this song like I do with my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend's number one song on it, and that's the track Lost Horizon, the second track. It used to be Home to Us was my second favorite. Now it's Lost Horizon. Okay, has Olivia and Danny forgotten about George? We haven't got anything new and different the last 4 years. I've given up with them, John. I've given up with them. When the Harrisons put something out, I'll get it, I'll buy it, I'll review it, I'll talk about it, make a video of it, all that. But I've given up on them, really. Okay, the live version of Bangladesh is better. I visited Bangladesh in 2015, and I played it while I was there. Okay, I remember the hundreds of tall ships in New York Harbor. Just imagine if Yoko performed with Ravi Shankar at the concert for Bangladesh. Well, I have no problems that John and Yoko weren't there. I mean, I always defend Yoko and I give her a boost now and then, but yeah. I don't mind that she wasn't there and John wasn't there. Okay, Beatles stories is amazing. Lost Horizon is my favorite. Wow, that's 3 of us now. 3 of us. Anybody else? I'm always hoping for more horror on the movie channel. That's what it's about. My thought. And again, don't take this as 100% verbatim yet, But I'm thinking of going back to making it. I mean, it is a horror channel, but I'm thinking of making it more of a horror channel. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about nor review other non-horror movies. I have an idea in my head as to how I might want to approach that. Not sure yet, but because maybe if I get into that niche, the horror science fiction niche, maybe there'll be more traffic. I mean, I really don't know. But then again, I haven't done a video, a proper video in like a month. It's hard. It really is. It's very hard to keep up with content on a channel if you have one channel. 2 channels is even harder. 3 channels is really hard. And I know at least one person that has 4 channels. Mama Gets By. It's my favorite on Dungeon Lane. It continues to be. That's a lot of people feel that way. I do like the song now. Just the way George, Leon Russell, and Bob Dylan harmonize on Just Like a Woman. It's one of a few highlights of that concert. Yeah, I think it's a highlight, but it was said earlier that it was the highlight. I don't. For me, it wasn't, but it's definitely a highlight. I'll give you that. Okay, Home to Us is my favorite, and Lost Horizons second best for me. Nice, John. Very nice. What was your favorite toy when you were a kid? Oh man, I can't even remember this. Man, I said I remember every day of my life, right? I used to like games. I remember there was a game called Mousetrap. That might be Mousetrap. Mousetrap was my favorite, I think. That's the first thing that pops out of my head. Yeah, my favorite on Bangladesh is Leon Russell taking a verse on Beware of Darkness. I do like when Leon Russell sings that verse. I'll give you that. But overall, my least favorite thing of the whole concert is Leon. I'm sorry, not a fan. But what specifically makes a movie a horror film? That's not easy to answer because there were a lot of different definitions, a lot of different horror films. The horror films with monsters in them: Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, that kind of thing. Then you have ones that are just like haunted houses and ghosts. Then you have ones later on that are like movies about crazy axe-wielding lunatics that go out and more realistic type of situations is horror, Some of them are psychological horror. You don't see much. Rosemary's Baby is an example of an excellent horror movie, one of the best ever made. I stand by that, where you don't see anything, but it's the psychology of what's happening to this woman and the people all around her that are all in on it. And it makes it kind of creepy. The horror channel would be great. Nobody knows more about horror than Joe. Well, again, there are some people who know more than me, much more. And there's some people who know less than me. Same thing as the Beatles. I always say that. I try to be humble about it. To some people, I know everything about the Beatles and all this. And to other people, maybe not. And I say I know there are people out there that I look up to and that know more than me. But we always learn new things together. We always get new facts in our heads, in our memory banks. Dungeon Lane has something for everyone, possibly in Paul's top 10 albums. Time will tell. Well, it's in my top 10, my McCartney top 10. Right now, about number 7 for me. But I agree. It has something for everyone. A lot of different stuff there. What copies of the concert for Bangladesh do you have? Well, I don't know. I have whatever the most recent DVD is in the little orange box. That's what I have. If you mean, and then otherwise, I have a CD just for completeness sake. I'll never play the audio CD, and I have a vinyl copy, of course, in the box, 12-inch box, just for completeness sake. I don't play the audio. Some concerts, I'm not interested in hearing the audio. Some I am, some I'm not. For me, when I watch a concert, I much prefer to put a concert film on. If there's a film of it, I'd much rather watch it and hear it rather than just hear it. When I watch the Bangladesh concert, I'm guilty of skipping the Leon and Billy section. Yeah. I like Billy Preston. I do like Billy Preston. Leon, not so much. What horror movie would you like for them to release on DVD or Blu-ray that is only on tape? Oh, I know I've got it. I know I've got answers for this one, man. I know I've got answers for this one. You know what it is, though, James? Sometimes to just come up with it right off the cuff is hard, man. Oh, man. Got it. Okay. I Was a Teenage Werewolf, and I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. The Amazing Colossal Man. These are movies that are owned by Susan Hart. And Susan Hart refuses to put these out and has been holding on to them very, very greedily for a long time. Doesn't want them out. And I consider From Hell to be a horror film. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that. Let me just go back. I gotta go back up with this. Sorry. Ever visit California, the West Coast? Never been. I don't believe, unless I was a baby or something. But I've never been. Never did much traveling. Still don't. If I remember correctly, the original Bangladesh film was always grainy and blurry. It always was. It's first of all, it's very darkly filmed. And I don't know what film stock it was on. I don't even know if it was 35 millimeter. Well, I do that too. I skip the Ravi Shankar bit. That I do skip. I tend not to want to skip things, but I always skip it. The only thing Harrison Camp are releasing are those picture discs that nobody wants. And we want something different, like the 74 live concerts, maybe 1991 Japan shows. Exactly, on DVD. Yeah, I agree with you. Say hello to Michael Nolan. Hello, Michael. What's going on, man? What makes a great horror film, you ask? Right now, what makes a great horror film, or what makes a horror film? Because I might have read that wrong. Might have read that wrong. What makes a horror film, or what makes a great horror film? I don't know if I answered it right. Anyway, right now I hear anyone who likes the latest film are running in horror out of the theater halfway through. Millie Alcock's latest film. At the Chicago Fest, Billy Preston signed my Bangladesh LP. I would have loved to have met Billy Preston. Did you know? I didn't go to any of the fests where he was there. Well, not just it just didn't work out. Not for any other reason. I would have loved to meet Billy Preston. Is Tell Me What You See the weakest song on Help? Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I like Tell Me What You See. It could be the weakest. So personally, I think Act Naturally is probably my weakest song on Help. It's a cover song, so I don't know if you mean, are you including cover songs? Because a lot of people would say You Like Me Too Much. I think that song's pretty good. I think that's underrated. I like every song on the album. But I might pick Tell Me What You See if you're talking about original Beatles songs on it. Hello, Daniel. The BBC is producing a major new 6-part drama series titled Hamburg Days, inspired by the autobiography of Klaus Woman. That's good. Hello, Dinner with Greedo. Paul is here. Obsession is a great horror film. Really original. I've heard that it's interesting. I was almost going to see it. My girlfriend and I were looking for a movie to see. She doesn't like horror films. But is that a horror film though? I don't know if it's strictly a horror movie from what I've heard. It has horror elements. I heard there's one pretty disgusting scene in it. Okay. Dizzy Miss Lizzy is so underrated. You got John Lennon rocking his ass off, screaming his heart out, and a stinging guitar. I really don't know what the problem is. I know people are tired of the same riff over and over again, or whatever it is. Billy Preston was a great performer. I love Nothing from Nothing. Will it go round in circles, etc., etc. Did Susan Hart ever say why she won't release those films? I have them on DVD, but they must be transfers from VHS. If you have them on DVD, they are transfers. They are bootlegs. I have them too. They were never officially put out. I don't know what the reason is. You can look it up. If you look on the internet, it's there. I might have read myself in the past, but she doesn't care. I don't know if she's waiting for a big payday or something. She's holding them ransom. And now it's gotten to the point, no, they're not worth as much as they used to be. I met Billy Preston at Secaucus Beetle Fest. Yeah, I went there many times, but I missed him. For next year's Global Beatles Day 2027 could be the box set release of 60th Anniversary Magical Mystery Tour. You think so? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, John, but maybe you should write in with that suggestion. I don't know. It's nice to think about it, but I don't know. I heard that at some point a posthumous duets album was to be released by the Harrison estate. I don't know how true that is. I haven't heard anything about that. So who knows? Okay. Billy Preston was at the Meadowlands Beetle Fest the year before he died. Yes, I heard. I think Mark Lapidus, who runs the fest, said that he was very, very ill. He was not well, but yet he went anyway, and he completely nailed it and killed it, even though he wasn't feeling well. That's what something like that. Amy, hello, Amy. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate that. Thank you for your video on mortality. Puts perspective on those we lost and ourselves. Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad you watch it over on that channel. I hope that everybody that likes my channel here will go to all three of my channels, because you never know. It's the way I think, and whatever I bring to the table is on three different channels. Okay, Bruce just made it there. Okay, he had a mishap with a vice grip. Let's leave it at that. One of my favorite lines. Yeah, it's a great line. Bela Lugosi says, "Supernatural." Somebody says it sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me. And Bela Lugosi says, "Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not. There are many things under the sun." Very good. Do you remember the guy named Tim Pitt used to dress in a 63 Beatles outfit? I see a guy in my mind dressed in a 63 Beatles outfit. Maybe that was him. I don't know his name or anything like that. Cheers, everybody. How sweet it is. Not as much as water. Not that sweet. Although I did find a sweet drink with no sugar in it and no fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. I'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. Go over to Mayo Loves Mondays, where I'll do the weight loss show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I put an ad up for it. There's an ad up. What was my most memorable Beetle Fest? Oh, that's a tough one. There were so many of them. The first ones, I went to two in 1981, and those were the best because they were my first. All those years, 1982 and 3, 81, 82, 83, 84, those years were the best. I went with my friend Mike a lot of times. Those were the best Beetle Fests. But then again, those were the best. But then in recent times, since I started going again and having this channel here, I get to meet a lot of people. Those are the best too, from 2017, 2018, 2019, all, and to recent, because that's where I get to meet a lot of you people out there that have said hello, and I've gotten to put a face now with a name, and I always like doing that, and people like to say hello and tell me how they like the channel. And also, recent years, I've got to do panel discussions. I've been on panels and talking about things about the Beatles. And that was on my bucket list. I always wanted to do that. Now I've done it. If I never do another one, that's fine. I'd like to, but if I never do another one, I've done it. I've accomplished. I can cross it off the bucket list. And, meeting the other podcasters, Tom and Andy, Matthew Street, Beetle Brad. It's always fun to meet people. Uncle Paul, I met there. Of course, Mr. Stickermania. And so there's a lot of people. I don't want to forget anybody. Marvin. The attendance fell off after John died. It's hard to believe because when I went, I remember them being pretty well attended. A lot of them were there because they needed that camaraderie after we lost John. It seemed like a lot of people wanted to. Any guests coming up today? I don't think so. I don't know. I play it by ear. If somebody is in there and they want to come, that's great. Oh, Ramoga, you deserve something for this. He's given me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your generosity. And Ramoga, I'm going to play this for you. Now you're making me think maybe I have to get a price every time. No, I won't do that to you. This is Ramoga's favorite Godzilla clip. Enjoy. And that's Godzilla Celebrate. Let's celebrate that little clip. And let's celebrate the fact that I got a little gift from there. I appreciate that. My most memorable fest was my first, right after the Beatles anthology came out. That was your first, Gary. Wow. At the Chicago Fest, I enjoyed watching you sell records to Tom. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. What about Lugosi? And Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, referring to the Frankenstein monster as, quote, a vicious, unmanageable brute. I don't want to repeat Frankenstein's mistake and have, I know it. I don't want to repeat. What about the brain? I don't want to repeat Frankenstein's mistake. Have a vicious, unmanageable brute. Yeah. When America 250, I'll have Godzilla do a dance. This time, the monster must have no will of his own, no fiendish intellect to oppose his master. Well, you rank the four. I did this already. I don't know if you must have asked because I did it last time, but I'll do it again. I Call Your Name is number one. Wow, I'm forgetting what's on there. I might have changed it from last time. Call Your Name is number one. Slow Down is number two. Oh, Long Tall Sally is three, and Matchbox is four. Oh, I know you appreciate it. I know you appreciate it. You like that clip. I know it. Gives you a laugh. You have to laugh about some things. Do Godzilla now again? No, I think we've seen enough Godzilla. Once per show is enough. I wonder how many people there think it's fun and how many people don't like it. But anyway, there it is. Okay. Wait a minute. I missed some comments. In honor of Danny, do you have any Barry Manilow in your collection? That's an interesting question. I like some Barry Manilow songs. I think I have some 45s. I think I have some 45s. Is this the only social media you use, Joe? Pretty much YouTube. I mean, I dabble in other things, but mainly just for message reasons. Many of the Beatles Fest I met. I don't know. I can't read this. The Beatles Fest guest at the bar. Alan Williams comes to mind. Okay, you went to the bar with Alan Williams. That must have been a lot of fun. I'm sure he could have drank you under the table, right? Okay. Where is Danny? I think he's probably watching the show. Danny, I guess, is at home. I haven't spoken to him in a couple of days. And yeah, good point. Thank you. Always try to help me out with this because I don't remember this. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. It helps with the algorithm. What's the algorithm? If you want to help me and you want to help my channel get more attention, get noticed more, please hit the like button. If you don't like me and you're a troll, and I know some of you are watching too, don't hit the like button. So there you go. Okay. Oh. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Much appreciated, folks. So, what's on everybody's so-called minds, huh? I guess this is, since there's not any comment right now, this is a good time, or some people are going to be bored out of their skulls. But don't forget to check out my other channels. There's this one here, Mr. Cinemayo. See what it says? Movies, TV, nostalgia, pop culture. Mr. Cinemayo. Movies, TV, nostalgia, pop culture, all that kind of stuff. Also, my newest channel, Mayo Loves Mondays. We have rant videos talking about life, Joe and Danny show. And, that's what that channel is. It's about life. It's about the ups and the downs, the fun. I'm retired, retirement. If you're retired, there's retirement content on there, though. You don't have to be retired to enjoy a lot of the content on there. So there you go for that. You recognized the Hey Bulldog, didn't you? Do you have the rare Yellow Submarine song track? Yes, I do. I have the yellow vinyl on that. That's what I'm holding on to. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Cherry. People think they're hurting you. You have to know that. If somebody out there is a negative naysayer about the channel, and they give negative comments or thumbs downs, it still helps the algorithm. Any kind of interaction. The best thing you could do if you don't like a channel and you don't want them to succeed is don't bother with them. I know that sounds like I'm making it up, but it's true. You can look it up and read about it. If you do that, any interaction, the algorithm thing reads that as a success, and it boosts the channel. So thank you. That would be nice. That would be nice if that were the case. Alan Williams, Mike McCartney, and Derek Taylor all at the bar. I think I've seen that Fire Maidens. I think it's women in black leotards. That could be Catwoman on the Moon. I think you're thinking of Catwoman on the Moon. I know somebody very long ago, I guess in the 1990s, somebody I know had a videotape, but it was really bad quality of that movie, and I watched it. It was so boring. I'm hoping there's enough attractive women in there to get through it, because I'm thinking the movie itself is going to be boring. Okay. Joe, if you get too famous, it'd be like the Beatles leaving the cavern. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get that famous. The ability to only like or subscribe once can be frustrating. I want to vote early and often. There you go. What is the most recent album you listen to just for your own pleasure? I got an easy one. The Boys of Dungeon Lane. The new McCartney album. What was the movie with the bald guy picking up a shoe? It terrified me. I don't know what that could be. What are we talking about? Talking about a horror movie? We're talking about a giant? So we're talking about a giant guy? We're talking about a regular sized person? I don't have really thoughts on Steven Stills. I don't know really anything about him. I really don't. I don't know much about him. Crosby, Stills, Nash, yeah. But I don't know anything about him personally. I don't know what movie that could be. Is it picking up a shoe? I mean, there's a few movies with giant bald monsters. One of them is The Amazing Colossal Man, and its sequel is called War of the Colossal Beast. Then there's another movie, pretty scary, because he makes a lot of noise, with a giant bald guy, and that's called The Cyclops. Hey, Bill, thank you very much. I'd like to know how that works. Can you tell me how that works? A lot of people talk about hyping a video. Do people hype my videos? Anybody out there hype them? And what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, how do you, me as a person who has the channel, how does that benefit me? How does it work? Mr. Mayo, Ringo's A Long Road, still on the UK country charts, number 39. Americana, number 11, country UK. Well, McCartney off the Billboard charts, not good. Well, you said a lot about that, John, and I was saying I might make a video about that. I know you. I just have to remember where your quote is. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video or not. I may. I can't promise anything. You know your concern. Your concern about the fact that the Beatles and solo Beatles are not on the charts like they used to be. I don't worry about it as much as you. I figure the year's 2026. It's almost 2027. We're lucky they're as popular as they are now, I think. But yeah, that's the guy that kept growing is the Amazing Colossal Man. I always hype your channel. Thank you, John. He picked up a shoe off of a display at a store and threw it at a train. What he also does is, do you ever see there's a scene in there where these guys are trying to give him a hypodermic needle? They have this gigantic, it takes like 2 or 3 men to carry it, and they go to give him a hypodermic shot, and the giant picks up the needle and he throws it down, and it kind of like impales the guy. One thing I've discovered about horror channels, if I'm going to talk about movies, these days people are so sensitive, and also YouTube is so sensitive, and you have to watch every damn thing you say. I know there's movies that I wouldn't even be able to talk about some of the killings that are in some of these. Can you even use that word? Could you even say, oh, in this movie, the monster kills somebody? Could you even say that? I don't even know if you could say it anymore. You have to say unalives. I mean, I don't even understand anymore how far you got to take it. I found Attack of the Puppet People disappointing. The title is misleading. They aren't puppets. Yeah, that's silly. That's the psychedelic kind of one with the giant people or whatever. In the comment box, you have an opportunity once in a while to hype, which pushes the video up to get seen more. I appreciate that. And I don't know how many people do that. I don't know if there's any way that I can know that it's been hyped, but I appreciate anybody who hypes the video or helps out. You have all my gratitude. Thanks. I appreciate it. I really don't think any of these nice things go unappreciated. Appreciate it because they do. They're appreciated. They are appreciated, I should say. The Beatles don't chart in the U.S. They do in UK. It is important, telling us what people are listening to. Very important. If you're not charting, you're not important. I don't agree with that. I really don't. I'm sorry, John. I love you, but I don't agree with that. I never saw The Gate. How could I not see The Gate? That's a pretty popular title, but I've never seen The Gate, honestly. The Beatles' Abbey Road was number 199, number 58 UK Blue album. Okay. They're just numbers. The Beatles are always going to be number one in everybody's mind. Well, not every modern youngster, but what's your version of why George quit the Beatles and they Get Back sessions? Mostly he could no longer stomach Yoko speaking for John on every topic discussed during their lunch break. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's the reason enough for him to leave the Beatles. I think it was a combination of things. That's what I'm going to say, a combination of things. In the movie, they make it look like he's feeling kind of like left out of the action, and it's all about John and Paul. That's the way it comes off in the movie. I don't think that's right, because there was a lunch or something. Something was said during the lunch, maybe with John. I really don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, and I'm wondering if that was true. What is true? I hype you. I know you mean hype. You mean hype. I get it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The hype and the thumbs up. Thank you. Means a lot. Means a lot. That means a lot. So it is appreciated. You bet. Hello, Marcus. Yeah, I saw that there was a Sean Lennon interview up. I didn't know. I didn't watch it. And yes, somebody mentioned it early on, but I don't know. I just didn't feel compelled to watch it. Sorry. Do you plan on seeing all four biopics of the Beatles? I would think that I would have to do it because I'm a fan and I have a channel to run, and I think I owe it to my viewers and to myself to see it and get an idea what I think of all four and give you my, my take on them. So yeah, I'm in no rush to see all four. They could take their time. Geez, yeah, he's around there, huh? Yeah, around lunchtime there. Mr. Bunker, was his death untimely? Yeah, around lunchtime. Do you think your sentimental channel or your lifestyle channel will be able to monetize soon? It's my channel, Mayo Loves Mondays, is set up to accept like we do here. During live streams, we can contribute if you want to. It's not a requirement. It's not a necessity. You can watch my videos without having to pay anything. It's not a requirement. But I don't know. I don't know when the videos themselves when that'll happen. It's going to take some time yet. In order to do that, you got to have 1,000 subscribers. I got a ways to go yet. It's been said that one definition of torture is having to listen to Ringo sing "If You've Got Trouble" over and over again on a continuous loop. Not for me. It wouldn't be. I don't love the song. I like it enough. I think it's. I can understand completely why they did not record it and finish it. It's not a good song. Probably the worst thing that they ever wrote. One of the worst things. Is there any news on the anthology, the Disney version coming to Blu-ray? Hell no. Disney doesn't there's a lot of stuff that Disney doesn't touch for whatever reason, Disney doesn't want to put there's a lot of physical media they don't want to touch. They don't want to put out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I like That Means a Lot, and I won't apologize for it. That's another bad song. I still like, again, I enjoy them. I enjoy That Means a Lot, and I enjoy If You Got Trouble. But the thing is that you can see why they weren't finished, and they were not the best thing they ever did. Am I being good, Joe, or when are you bad? Well, I mean, how much bad have you done? Most of the time, you're fine. I mean, every now and then, maybe not, but I don't know what you mean. Okay. After the Beatles 4 movies, the Beatles better do like they did in the releases of Anthology 1, 2, 3 when the world went crazy. I would expect that the Beatles movies will do very well and bring in some new fans. That's what I would expect. And of course, I'm hoping so. Mike Stivick, you're totally incomprehensible. Archie, maybe so, but they make a lot of sense. Yoko wasn't the cause of George quitting or the Beatles breakup. Yeah, well, I know what Brian's trying to do. He's trying to get me going, but it's not happening. I'd take If You Got Troubles over Yellow Submarine. Never liked that song. I think Yellow Submarine is grossly underrated today. It is such a wonderful song, such a fun song, and it's Ringo being given his moment to shine on that album. And I think it's just lovable old Ringo, and I really love the song. It's a lot of fun. And hearing the Beatles making all those noises, it's great. It's great. They missed the mark on not releasing "Leave My Kitten Alone." I think "Leave My Kitten Alone" is probably the best of the songs that one of the best of the songs that they did not release at the time. I don't think it's perfect either, to tell you the truth. I don't think it's a perfect song or recording either, but I like it. I'd like to see Paul and Ringo put out a CD together with solo songs and several duets. Well, they better hurry up if that's the case, Bill. I don't think they'll do that. No to stop play. I do remember WNEW playing it, and Yoko said no, stop playing it. Okay, you're talking about "Leave My Kitten Alone." I think she was the one that vetoed that. It's another reason for all the Yoko haters out there to take their own insecurities and frustrations out by having somebody to hate, if they want. But they thought "Tell Me What You See" was good enough to put on Help. It ain't better than the songs they left off. It may be. It may be a little better, I think. That's how I feel. The new John Lennon "Yellow Submarine" is amazing. Okay. I think I'm going to be leaving here early today. I think I started a little later than usual, 5 o'clock. I got some things to do. So maybe I'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so. Unless something changes. I mean, if I get a great guest or something. But do you still have the "Free as a Bird" EP with the remix of "Yellow Submarine"? Yes, I do. So many other sounds mixed out of the single. Yoko's best song is "Walking on Thin Ice." I think that's a very good song, and it's one of her best. I agree with that. Yeah, "World Without Love" was a great song. I thought it was a great song. I think John, it's funny, John's supposedly, reportedly, didn't like the line "Please lock me away," even though, he has a line, and I'll cry instead, saying, if I could get my way, I'd get myself locked up today. So kind of similar. But I think that Peter and Gordon did an excellent recording of this song, "World Without Love." The new Stones album, "Foreign Tongue," sounds like one rockin' album. Well, maybe I'll find out in a couple of weeks. If I absolutely had to take a song off a Revolver, it'd be "Good Day Sunshine." "Yellow Submarine" at least has some innovative effects to make it cool. "Good Day Sunshine" is too wimpy. Yeah, I hear what you mean. Although, for me, although it's kind of wimpy, it's typical Paul fluff. It's a good song, I gotta say. "I got up early on a Sunday morning to see you. I am honored. Thank you." Are you getting the reissue of "Season of Glass"? No, I'm not. Like I say, I've stopped with a lot of that kind of stuff. I still get something here and there. You'll see me here and there. But no, not getting the "Season of Glass" reissue. Okay, are we almost done? Anybody else? I see ads for Hot Wheels, John Lennon Rolls Royce. I checked the company. They don't exist. It's a complete ripoff. So Revolver, is side 1 or side 2 better? Oh, I'd have to put it in front of me and think about it. Well, I know the songs on it. What am I talking about? I never gave that any thought. I really never did. I don't know. Maybe side 2. I don't know. Side 2's got "Tomorrow Never Knows" and "Anya Bird Can Sing." Great granny music. Exactly. If you like granny music, that's great granny music. All right, everybody. I'm going to call it a little early today. Thank you all for being here and joining me. We'll see you maybe next week. We almost always do this on Saturday, but let's see how it goes next week. I should be here. And I thank you all. Please subscribe to my other channels, Mr. Cinemayo, Mayo loves Mondays. There could be videos there with my friend Anthony. A lot of people like Anthony, and Anthony is going to be moving over there. I said in the video that Anthony, if we do a video where we talk about the Beatles, something, if me and Anthony say go into a Beatles show or some kind of Beatles convention or something, that would be right here on the Beatles channel. But if it's going to be going out to eat and hanging out and just two guys bullshitting, that would be the lifestyle channel. You know, it was about us going to a movie, maybe going seeing something at the theater. That would be movies. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Be well.